Did you know that wild food is all around us? It always amazes me how much wild food can be found in the mountains here in Montana. Today I'm going on a shed hunting trip with my brother, and hopefully we'll also find some of the wild plants I've been looking for. So let's see what the day brings. We are going to have to go up this big old ridge. Super steep. But that's what you got to do to find the sheds. The onions are over there, and hopefully some other wild edibles that I'm hoping to find for the first time this year. All right, up the big ridge we go. Here we have a plant that not only is edible for humans, but bears also love, especially black bears. Right now in the spring here in Montana, the bears love to crush this plant, especially once it grows and flowers out. It's a arrowleaf balsam root, and I'll show you in a second what the leaves look like, but right now in the spring is when it comes up. It's super easy to spot. Out here in the mountain west here in Montana, you'll see it on these southern hillsides that we're on right now. And it's everywhere if you look around. So come a little closer so I can show. So here you can see this is why it's called arrowleaf, because of the shape of the leaf, like an arrowhead. And last year's plant, or last year's growth, will look like this. So it's super easy to spot. The roots are pretty big, and you can harvest those and eat the roots. They have a lot of inulin, which is a fiber that they like to use in a lot of processed food these days. It's also found in Jerusalem artichoke. Let's keep moving on. We're going up this really steep ridge right now, but behind this ridge, way down in the valley, is more to find. There are some wild onions that I know about, and hopefully we'll find some sheds out there. In a previous year we found, we had a great day shed hunting here. We found a pair of moose antlers, elk antlers, and a bunch of mule deer antlers. So we're hoping that this year the spot will also produce. Let's get going.
Boldy, do you copy? We have entered the bone zone.
No way. You found one?
Yes, we did. It's a nice mule deer shed. A little chewed up, but very nice.
Okay, heck yeah. I'm coming over there. Hang on. Let's go. Looks like Pius just found the first mule deer shed of the day. Super excited. We're on top of the ridge where we found the other antlers last year, specifically the moose antlers. So he thinks it might be one of the mule deer antlers we missed a prior year. Here it is, just trolling. Really? Oh, that would have been not nice if you were trolling me right now. It's pretty chewed up, but it's like 4 years old. Whatever. Shed is shed. Nice.
Still a pretty big one.
That's a big one.
Nice
big
little
indeed.
crap on the side of it, but still a pretty big shed.
Yeah, I think that might be the other side, honestly.
I'm pretty sure. Too bad it's all chewed up, but
I think we still keep it.
oh yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Let's find more of those.
Oh yeah.
Onward we go. We're gonna walk in like a spread here, 50 to 60 yards apart, to hopefully cover more ground that way and get into some more sheds. Alright, super pumped right now. Pius, my brother, found the first shed of the day, as you guys just saw. And I've been looking around and seeing these yellow flowers, and I believe it's a yellow bell. I've been really wanting to find yellow bells here in Montana. I've never harvested them. They're a totally new species for me, but I know they grow out here, and I've been reading a lot about them in my foraging books. So I believe this is one. It's supposed to be a really good edible, has kind of a bulbous root, and you know can really grow in abundance. And this ridge seems to have a ton of them. So let's try to carefully dig one up. Hopefully I can do this without breaking it. Here's the yellow flower. I'm just gonna try to carefully dig around it. I forgot my digging stick at home, so we're using a knife here. Try to be very careful. They seem a bit flimsy, kind of a reddish, greenish stem on them, flower stalk. Try to just carefully pry it up without breaking it. Here we go. Let's see if it's a bulbous root. It doesn't quite look like it's a bulb to me, like a round root. This is more what it looks like. So again, I hope I have a yellow bell here. What I'm gonna do is take this home and just compare it to some of my foraging guides. I should have brought one to see if this is indeed a yellow bell. And then I'm also gonna run it through some plant ID apps, because that can give you a good pointer to help you see if it is the plant you're looking for. Maybe post about in some Facebook foraging groups, and then of course I got some plant foraging mentors who should help me out and help me identify this plant. If this is indeed a yellow bell, we kind of have a jackpot up here because there's a ton of them. So if that's the case, I'm going to come back and help to wild tend them, cultivate them on this ridge. You know, maybe once they go to seed, collect some of the seeds, spread them around, and turn this into an abundant garden of yellow bells. Looks like it might be a little like side shoot or something. Awesome. I'm very excited about this. Let's keep on moving. We got some sheds to find, and still want to check on the wild onions to see how far they are. Alright guys, beautiful landscape here in Montana. And I'm pretty sure I just also found a shed. Right over there you can kind of see the white antler. Let's walk out and see what it is. I've been tricked before by sticks, so hopefully it's one. Alright, here we go. Shed number 2. Probably not the other side, but in a bit better condition. It's still pretty bleached. Definitely not from this year. Still a nice shed. It's got a little bit of damage here, but we'll take it. What do you think, Pius?
Very excited. Great start. And we haven't even entered the zone where we found all the other nice ones, all the browns. So the hopes are high, energy's high, and I'm ready to get going.
Same. Let's go. Look what we have here. Some really fresh bear shit. Pretty green. It's because they're eating a lot of plant material at this time of the year. So I'll have to keep my eye out. So we've been walking for like a good hour now. Haven't seen anything, but I just looked down to my right and there's a shed. Let me show you. Looks like an older one, just barely sticking out of the ground here. Oh wow, that's bigger than I thought it would be. Kind of cool looking with the moss on it. Heck yeah. We'll throw that on the pack and keep moving, because we want to find some elk antlers still. You'll see if we find some. They are much bigger and quite impressive. Hey Pius! Bing bow! Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I want to get some fresh ones now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy that it was stuck in the ground like that.
Just like that?
Yeah, I barely saw it. It's just so hard with all these sticks too. Like,
I've been faked out multiple times today.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, we're approaching the better area.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's a bunch down there. All right, so We haven't found anything for a while here in our good spot, but Pius just found a nice elk shed. Well,
Pretty old.
it's pretty old, but still an elk shed.
Not too bad, yeah.
Come up here so we can see it better. There we go.
Right about here.
Yeah, and that's a broken piece, but I wonder if that...
It's not the same bull we found 2 years ago, because he never had this pointy of fronts.
That's true.
He was more relaxed in the front, so
It's a different bull.
I think maybe moving more back there probably produce some more.
That's a pretty good sized bull though.
Here.
Look at that. Nice. Well, not the most beautiful one, but you can see way bigger than the mule deer. And this isn't even a whole elk one.
No. Too bad, but yeah.
Well, what do you think? Should we keep pushing a bit or no?
A little bit more into there because it clears up a little bit.
Alright, we'll go a little further
Why not?
back.
And then jump down and then
Head back.
head our way back, yeah.
Alright, nothing past that broken elk shed that Pius found. Now we're heading to the onions. Best part of the day. Checking those, see how they're doing. We've been seeing a lot of them already, but I'm trying to get to one spot where in the past I've seen a ton. I'll give you guys a good example. Here we are with the wild onions. We're in this drainage and we've just walked all the way down looking for sheds, found a bunch more yellow bells, and yeah, we've been basically seeing onions like this, like these ones here, these green, nice green looking ones, the entire walk here. But here's a really nice spot to show you guys. We're gonna take some of these out just to show you. I'm not sure what allium species, so allium is the onion family, this is, because I've never actually been here when they bloomed. And when plants like this start to bloom and have a flower, that's a great way to tell what species it actually is. But when you break off a leaf here, there's a really strong onion scent. Always good to rub it between your fingers. Yeah, and I mean this whole valley kind of smells like onion, garlicky. Now, you got to be a bit careful here in Montana because there is the death camas that kind of grows in a similar area. And that one is very deadly. So that's one you definitely want to avoid. Now that one doesn't smell like onion at all. But, you know, when you're picking these all day, your hands start to smell like onion. So it could happen that you mistake one of those death camases for the onion. So just be very careful. Learn your ID for these really well before you start eating them. So let's dig some of these out. You can see there's also some strawberries, some wild ones in here. You also find these onions kind of associated with nettles, probably because they like to grow around the water here on the stream that we're at. And you know, they can get quite tall. I've been here a little later in the year and they got a lot bigger. So let's see if we can just dig some up and give you a good example. Look at that soil though. Very rich soil, dark rich soil. Reminiscent of the soil that I find around ramps in the Midwest, which is also allium species. You'll see, these kind of look like spring onions at the store. They'll have a little bulb at the bottom. There we go. You see kind of, they have a layer here that you can pull back. And here we go, this is much more what the spring onions at the store look like. Now I'm gonna run a little experiment here. What I'm gonna do is dig a few up, maybe like 4 or so, and take them home. I'm gonna put them in a pot and see if I can get them to grow and flower so I can actually see what species these are. It's kind of tough to get out here, you know, all the time. It's so far back in the wilderness. that it's kind of tough to just check on these throughout your life cycle. This one right here looks like a nice onion. Get deep in there with my knife. A spoon works great here too. If you bring a kitchen spoon. There we go. It's a good example. This is a bit of a bigger one. So we're taking that with the roots. Get a few more here. Here's a big cluster with an earthworm in it. I'll take that back. So I got 5 here. We'll take those back and yeah, put them in a pot, see how it goes. So it's not quite the ramps, but whoa. Hey, oh. So it's not quite the ramps, but you know, a really good substitute for being out here in Montana where we don't have ramps. And I think I could pick onions in this little drainage here, or this pretty big drainage actually, as much as I wanted and not put a dent in this population, which is pretty awesome. We're gonna go now, head back. It was a pretty good day. Didn't find the freshest, newest sheds, but still found sheds. Didn't get skunked. Potentially found the yellow bells. I'm gonna go back and check those, see if those are what they are, and got a bunch of onions, and I can run my experiment now the next few weeks here. And yeah, in the next few weeks these are gonna grow a lot more. They're gonna start to flower, and maybe I'll make it out to actually see them in flower out here, which would be pretty neat. It's gonna be about a 2-hour hike back now or so, up some pretty steep, gnarly terrain, but it was definitely worth it.